Hi and welcome. Today what we're going to do is spin the wheel. I'm going to set myself a challenge, spin the wheel, and you can do it with me as well. It's going to be good for your progress, good for your playing. All right, so here we go. What's it going to be? Today's challenge is blindfolded changes. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do is play a load of chord changes with a blindfold, and you can do it with me. This is a great test, and you're going to learn some little important details about chord changes, making music flow and having fun, okay? I'm just going to wing it and we're going to go for it right now. So I found this out, okay? A sleep mask, and it's going to help, okay? So what we're going to do is play a couple of chord changes, okay? It's going to be a test, and I want you to test yourself, because one of the best things you can do when you're playing is not look at your guitar as you play. So many people play and they're kind of like this. They're just strumming away, and it just ruins the flow, okay? But this is what we want. And I'm going to give you some tips. Here we go, okay? So I cannot see a thing right now, but you're going to see how good or bad my chord changes are. Okay. Oh, my hair's not all messed up. That's probably what's going to happen in this video. So chord changes, can you do that, okay? You don't have to put a silly blindfold on like this, or a sleep mask as it is, Make me want to have a little nap, that does. But you close your eyes, okay? See if you can do, because if you can't change chords with your eyes closed, then you haven't built up the muscle memory, okay? And that's okay, it's perfectly okay, because you know what? Here's some tips on actually improving your chord changes. The first tip, and this is very much a beginner tip, but a lot of people who play for a long time need to know this. First one is make sure you can play the chord cleanly, okay? And without too much pressure. You'll be shocked the amount of guitarists that I've taught over the years who've come into my studio, they've played for years or decades, and they can't play a C chord, okay? Just doing that is a real strain, and everything's hard and buzzing. And the reason why, because of all the foundational techniques haven't been sorted. No one's ever showed them the basic techniques of even picking up a guitar, sitting with a guitar, holding a guitar, and just playing notes with a relaxed, tension-free manner and posture. And you know what the truth is? Not many people are ever taught this sort of stuff. And it's a sad fact of guitar tuition. I was talking about this with my friend Jamie Andreas, a great guitar tutor, on my podcast recently. You can check that out at acousticasylum.com. I'll put a link below this video. In that podcast, we were talking about how guitar tuition is often stuck in the dark ages. You'll find that other instruments, like whether it be piano, violin, trumpet, drums, even drums, all these instruments are taught really, really well. And they're just taught, there's this real focus on basic technique. It's not just like, okay, just pick up the thing and just put your finger there and just play. And then try and put another finger there and another finger there and play a chord. And that's like the basic lesson. That's the most basic lesson a lot of people are taught. So if you struggle with chord changes, let's break that down a little bit, okay? First thing you want to do, and everybody should do this at first, if you're going to practice chords, is practice with a capo. Let's put a capo on at fret 5. I'll show you. All right, put a capo on at fret 5. Why am I doing that? Well, all right, I'll play the same C chord now, okay? It's a lot easier to play there. I don't really notice the difference anymore, but beginners absolutely do. If you look at me playing a C chord down there, big stretch, big gaps. The frets are much further apart. There you go. Look at that distance there from the nut to fret 3. Now then, we go from here. Okay, fret 5. It's a lot smaller. Okay, well, it should be here. I should be doing it really. It's a lot smaller than that. Okay, and that difference can make a big difference. Even a centimeter makes a huge difference. So if you can't play a chord cleanly, you're not going to be able to change smoothly back and forth from it. So put a capo on at fret 5. Try the C chord there. Check every note in the chord. Okay? And try and play with minimum pressure. It's one of the most important tips I can give you. I want to check out some other stuff on that below this video about minimum pressure. Very, very important. The first thing everybody should know. All right, okay. So you play the C chord there, and we'll keep the capo on there at fret 5, okay, and you keep relaxed. The second thing you want to do with chord changes, there's a lot more technical stuff like that. Your position, look at the way I'm sitting with the guitar, the classical position. I'm not sitting like this, where I'm all hunched over and I've got no room because my big belly's in the way, and I can't change chords because I can't move my arm. I'm sitting in a nice upright classical position. much more relaxed, okay? It's tension-free playing. There's a reason why classical players play like this. They play tricky stuff a lot of the time, and they need to make things easier for themselves. So they do. They're not worried about looking cool, okay? I mean, you can sit like a over-the-top classical posture like that, but I tend to do a slightly more relaxed one where I keep the nut of the guitar at least shoulder level high, use a footstool, and it looks slightly cooler, okay? But it's far more efficient than just sitting like this. There's loads of details like that I talk about in my book, Fingerstyle 101. Okay, you can check that at fingerstyle101.com/book. But let's go back to this, okay? So you keep nice and relaxed. And then how do you change chords? Well, you don't do this. Say we go from C to G, you don't do this. Okay, you avoid that like the plague. What you want to try and do to start with is avoid the double movements. There are easier chord changes than this, but if you can play a C, get a nice gap between the fingers as well, then lift up and try and land the fingers at the same time, and do that 100 times a day, you'll be far, far better off than most people. And you will be far better off in the space of a week as well, because that'll be 700 changes you've done. But that, for a lot of people, is very difficult to do. So what you got to do is slow it all down, play the C, lift off, try and change to the G with your fingers in the air. Don't let any finger touch the strings. If your fingers do this waving around like this, wiggling, it's okay. But then try and line them up. If you need to, just do 2 fingers at first, the middle and ring. Put that down and then put the other one down. When you go back to C, try the same. Try and line them up. Get them roughly in the ballpark. Use this other hand, you know, your big hand if you need to line them up. And put them down. And again, when you do the C, if you need to, just do 2 fingers at first. Try and get the middle and ring down, and then the index. Okay, and then back to the G. Much better to get 2 fingers down than 1 down, and then each finger staggered. Okay, that's a little tip there. So I call it avoiding double movements, and you just want to try that. It's not the easiest tip in the world. There's no magic shortcuts with chord changes. There are chord changes you can do where like you do different versions of chords. Like you can do a G like this to a C add 9. Which is a lot easier. So you could try that, but it's not a substitute for a proper G to C. It's a different flavour, the C add 9. So a little bonus tip anyway there. So you got 3rd fret low E, 2nd fret of the A string, open D, open G, 3rd fret of the B, 3rd fret of the high E. That's for the G chord. Then just move the middle and index down a string. Keep your ring and pinky where they are. That's the C add 9. So middle's 3rd fret of the A string, index is 2nd fret of the D. Have loads of fun just strumming away with those 2 chords, different rhythms, and loads of fun like that. Okay, but strumming is great, I love it, but finger picking is more of what I do. Okay, I haven't really even talked about finger picking in this video, but if you want to get a really good foundation of everything you need to do with guitar and do some lovely finger picking, so yeah, if you want to learn sort of finger picking, like, and all the basics that you need to, check out my book at fingerstyle101.com. And I hope you enjoyed that. Some foundational stuff there. I'll put this on again now. Have a little jam. You can join in with me. We'll do the C, add 9 to G, and just have a bit of fun. Do some more chords to show that you can do it. It's all just muscle memory, okay? All just muscle memory. Remember that. Technique, muscle memory, perseverance. You can do it. You absolutely can. If you've been struggling in the past, keep at it. You've got this. Check out this video here for more as well. Keep it up. Cheers. Bye.